Halfway through the party, Ethan was cornered by a group of business partners. I watched as Isabel shot me a defiant smirk, leaned in close to a slightly drawn Ethan, and whispered something in his ear. Then one after the other, they slipped out of the ballroom. Ethan and Isabel distanced 15 feet, 3 feet, 0. I took out my burner phone again, snacking on the side again. Mr. CEO, time to tell your fiancé the price is $20 million this time. He was likely in a state of frustrated arousal. His reply was blunt, fuck off. I sat her down my champagne flute and, following the distance tracker, calmly made my way upstairs to the guest suites. I stopped in front of one of the rooms. Baby, I called out, my voice sweet and clear. What are you doing in there? The door to the guest suite didn't open immediately. Through the wood, I heard a faint scramble, something crashing to the floor, a muffled curse that sounded like Ethan. Then silence. I waited, my fingers brushing the cool surface of my burner phone in my clutch. Distance tracker on my internal display flickered, 0 inches, then 1 foot, then back to 0. Finally, the door creaked open. Ethan stood in the doorway, his tie askew, the top button of his dress shirt undone. His cheeks were flushed from alcohol, but his eyes were sharp like he was trying to mask his panic with a glare. Liv, what are you doing here? I thought you were downstairs with the guests. I smiled soft and sweet, the way he used to love. I missed you. The party is so boring without my baby. I leaned in slightly as if to kiss his cheek, and caught a whiff of Isabel's perfume, something floral and cloying, a stark contrast to the witty scent Ethan usually wore. Who are you talking to in here? I heard voices. Ethan's jaw tightened, his step to side, blocking the view of the room behind him. No one, just a business call. The signal's better up here. Really? I tilted my head, feigning innocence. Your phone's in your pocket. Baby, I saw it when you hugged Mr. Henderson earlier. I nodded toward his suit jacket, where the outline of his phone was visible. And besides, I let my voice drop just enough to make it sound like a secret. The walls here are thinner than you think. I heard a woman's laugh. For a split second, Ethan's composure cracked. His hand twitched like he wanted to grab me and drag me away, but I forced it to his side. You're imagining things. Let's go back downstairs. Everyone's asking for you, me fiancé. He emphasized the last word as if it would remind me of my place. But I didn't move. I just stared at him, my smile fading. Isabel's in there, isn't she? Ethan's eyes darkened. Liv, don't be ridiculous. Before he could finish, the door behind him opened a little wider. Isabel stood there, her dress strap slipped on her shoulder, a faint smirk on her lips. He clearly fixed her hair and makeup, but there was a smudge of lipstick on her neck at the shade. Oh, Olivia. I was just leaving. She brushed past Ethan, her shoulder bumping his arm. Nice party. Congrats on the engagement. Though I think twice before saying you do to a man who can't keep his hands to himself. Ethan spun around, his voice a snarl. Get out now. Isabel laughed low and mocking. Relax. CEO, I'm going, but remember our arrangement just sent over. Not until I say it is. She winked at me before walking down the hallway, her heels clicking against the marble floor. The moment she was gone, Ethan turned back to me. His hands were shaking not with anger, but with fear. Liv, let me explain. She cornered me. She said she'd tell everyone about the past if I didn't talk to her. I didn't want to ruin your birthday. I stared at him, my heart cold. Past, like how you funded her design studio, or how you sent her flowers every Valentine's Day, or how you were in here with her just minutes after telling everyone we're getting engaged. Ethan's face paled. You know about that? I pulled out my burner phone, showing him the text I'd sent earlier, snacking on the side again. Mr. CEO, time to tell your fiancé the price is $20 million this time. His eyes widened when he saw it. You're the one sending this text. I nodded, putting the phone away. Surprised. Did you really think someone else would care enough to blackmail you? Or did you just hope it was someone else, someone you could intimidate or buy off? I stepped closer, my voice dropping to a whisper. You gave her everything. Effing freedom, money, attention. But me, you gave me a cage. A pretty one with diamonds and champagne, but a cage all the same. Ethan reached for me, but I stepped back. Liv, I'm sorry. I can fix this. I'll cut her off for good this time. I'll give you anything you want, just don't leave me. His voice cracked, something I'd never heard before. For all his arrogance, he was terrified of losing me. I thought about the system's words earlier. Male lead's character profile is collapsing by 5%. Good. Let it collapse. Let him feel the same fear and loneliness I'd felt for months. Anything I want, I asked, tilting my head. Ethan nodded frantically. Anything. Name it. I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. I want control over my life, over my money, over you. I held up my hand, showing him the faint scar from where he'd implanted a tracker under my skin. I want all the trackers out. I want my old job back. I want a bank account in my name with half of your assets. And I want you to sign a prenup if you cheat on me again. You lose everything. No excuses. No loopholes. Ethan stared at me, shocked. This wasn't the obedient, loving Liv he'd grown used to. This was someone new, a man who knew her worth. Someone who wasn't afraid to fight back. Half my assets. He repeated, his voice low. That's non-negotiable. I cut him off. Take it or leave it. If you leave it, I'll walk out that door right now. I'll tell everyone about you and Isabel. I'll show them the texts, the photos, the receipts for the gift you sent her. You'll lose your company, your reputation, everything. And you know I can do it. Ethan's hands balled into fists. He was weighing his options, his pride, against his fear of losing me. Finally, he let out a shaky breath. Okay, I'll do it. All of it. Just don't leave me. I nodded, satisfied. Good. We'll get the prenup drawn up tomorrow. And Ethan, I stepped closer, my lips almost touching his ear. If you so much as look at Isabel again, I won't just leave you. I'll destroy you. He shivered, but there was something else in his eyes, something like admiration. I love you, he whispered. I didn't reply. Love didn't have anything to do with this. This was survival. We went back downstairs, hand in hand. Ethan put on a brave face, laughing and greeting guests like nothing had happened. His grip on my hand was too tight, and every time someone mentioned Isabel's name, his jaw tightened. I played my part, too smiling, thanking people for their congratulations, acting like the happy fiancé. But underneath, I was already planning my next move. The system's voice pinged in my head later that night. As Ethan slept beside me, male lead's character profile is collapsing by 10%. On strength with host, 90%. Further deviation may cause the world to destabilize. I'd ignored it. Let the world destabilize. I wasn't going back to being a prisoner. Over the next few weeks, Ethan kept his promises. He had the trackers removed from my skin. He transferred half his assets into my bank account. He helped me get my old job back at the design firm that paid better than my previous position. Thanks to his connections, the prenup was drawn up and signed, with every clause I'd requested. Isabel didn't disappear though. She sent me texts every few days, photos of her and Ethan together. Old ones from when they were arranging things. New ones of her outside his office. He still calls me Olivia. He still wants me. You're just a placeholder. I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded the text to Ethan's lawyer. Within 48 hours, Isabel received a cease and desist letter. She stopped texting me, but I knew she wasn't done. She was like a cockroach to kill. One afternoon, I was at work when my phone rang. It was Ethan. Liv, can you come home? I need to talk to you. His voice sounded strange, tense, but not angry. I hesitated. Is everything okay? I'll explain when you get here. He hung up. When I got back to the villa, Ethan was sitting in the living room, staring at his phone. There was a folder on the coffee table, thick with papers sticking out of it. What's this? I asked. Sitting down across from him, Ethan pushed the folder toward me. Open it. I did. Inside were photos, down scenes of them. Photos of me at work, laughing with my coworkers. Photos of me going to the gym. Of me meeting Samantha for coffee. Photos of me outside a jewelry store, looking at engagement rings just for fun, to see what Ethan would do. I looked up at him, confused. What is this? I had someone follow you, he said, his voice flat, to make sure you were safe. But I saw you. You looked happy. Happier than you've ever looked with me. I stared at him. This was the same man who locked me in the villa for days, because I talked to a barista. Now he was admitting he'd had me followed and sounding almost guilty about it. The system was right. He continued. I've been a monster. I thought controlling you meant loving you, but you're not happy with me. He looked up at me, his eyes red. Do you even want to marry me? Or are you just doing this to get what you want?